Yo, good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no goddamn chasing. You got the super team of sports talk here with y'all, and I'm one half of it, Diego Barishnikov, the black Dominican Russian. Almost fucked up my own name. And I'm here with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under post up champ. Tell these people who you are.
Good people. It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports, broadcasting live on a Tuesday. Here to do our Week 4 NFL recap.
That thing.
This is gonna be one of them weeks. What's good?
Hey man, I can't call it shenanigans already, right? People, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Shit, by the time y'all hear this, it'll be hump day. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all tuning in as always. This is episode 191 or 2, one of the two. Week 4 recap, like my man just said. We're going to get into some observations, of course, the scores, and maybe what to look forward to come week 5. But before we get started, as always, in addition to thank you all for tuning in, continue to subscribe on that YouTube platform, iTunes platform, and the Spreaker platform. Don't pick one of the 3. Go ahead and subscribe to all 3. That way, if you get to listen to one, you can consume us on 3 different avenues.
That's real shit.
It is. Before I forget, before we get into week 4, because I know we'll get to the end and forget, Errol Spence, Sean Porter fight this weekend. Your boy went to sleep. I didn't see a single round of it. I had picked Errol Spence to win in a decision, but from what I hear, it was actually a really, really, really good fight. And it was closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. I think it was a split decision that he won by. Yeah. So now he looking for the big bag, and he trying to go after Pacquiao. But Pacquiao seems to be wanting to run this horse race with us again with this Floyd Mayweather thing.
Floyd ain't featuring him, is he?
I mean, for $500 million, I'd come out of retirement.
Hell yeah.
So depending on the truck, of course it comes out of money when it comes to Floyd. So it's got to be big money for him to come out and do it. But for some reason, people will still pay to watch that all these years later.
Right.
But, it is what it is. Shout out to
this from last week. It wasn't really nothing big. And we ain't talk about UGA. Y'all got it done against Notre Dame, but,
Yeah. They had a bye week this week. Nothing really. I mean, it's a lot going on in college. Justin Fields putting up big numbers at Ohio State. Jalen Hurts putting up a lot of passing numbers at Oklahoma.
You got hit real quick before we get into this NFL talk. What you feel about this that bill that got signed in California for the players to start making bread?
Oh, I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Now, of course, it's got to be done, the right way. Of course, you can't just have cats out here willy-nilly and
right
with no kind of structure. But at the same time, the NCAA can't continue to hide behind all these, what if? And This is why, at some point, hey, man, this is what old boy in the meme say when the customer was rude to him, it's above me now. You know what I'm saying? It's above you now. So you can either come on or you can get trucked over.
I think I read that they're trying to do something similar in Florida. A bill got introduced in regards to it.
Yeah, Florida, South Carolina was another state, which is real big. I was on Twitter yesterday, and a lot of people talk because Mr. Dabo Swinney down there in Clemson, biggest program in South Carolina right now. Dabo's on record about his stance on players getting paid and what have you. He is not for it. So his state is one of these other states like Florida that may be trying to be one of the states in the forefront to adapt it. So he ain't gonna like that one bit.
if the school ain't paying them, if it's endorsements and like a YouTube channel, what's wrong with that?
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with it. But you got some people that seem to have a problem with it.
Yeah, that's some sucker shit. But I'm glad that the ball is rolling on it. Let's see where it goes. I don't think it's gonna be a quick fight, but
nah, because I mean, even when that California has passed, it's not going into effect until 2023.
How much do you think them folks hate LeBron? Like, really hate LeBron?
And I want to say I saw a clip. As a matter of fact, last night I think I saw a clip of a new episode coming up of The Shop. And I don't know if it's the governor of California or one of these guys that's big with this.
In front of LeBron.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That's why I was like, they really got to hate LeBron. He got his hands in some of everything. Empowerment.
Hey, exactly. He is about the empowerment. And he's been on this NCAA thing like for years. This ain't something that he just jumped on the bandwagon new. He's been saying stuff like this for years.
Yes.
About the players not getting paid for their likeness and all the money and billions of dollars that it brings to them universities. So
yeah, they were probably big mad yesterday morning. But it's
LeBron ain't scared. He ain't scared of it.
He got fuck you money. You can't touch me if I'm that rich. So.
Exactly.
Right. Ready to go to work.
All right. Yeah, man, let's get to it, man. Week 4, Thursday night game last week was a good one, actually. Philly.
Glass to the NFL for that. We finally got a good Thursday game.
Finally got a good Thursday game.
Wait for the whole game, too?
Well, Thursdays I do pretty good.
Okay.
It's those Sunday night games that give me a little trouble. But I did nod off on one drive in this game, and it was an important drive. It was the one where the Packers got down to inside the 5, wherever the fuck they were, and ran 4 straight passing plays.
Yeah.
And so I was asleep during that. I woke up a little bit after that, so I only saw the very last drive where they got down there again. Then he threw the interception on second down, but they ran it on first. But
this score was 34-27, but I kind of feel like the tone got set. Like, was that the first play where they knocked Jamal Williams out?
It may have been. It was real early because we were still recording, so we missed the first couple plays. But it did. But I think Green Bay scored first.
Yeah. They got the first score, but the tone was set. We about to be physical with y'all the entire game.
Yeah. But I want to say, didn't Green Bay get out to another 2-score lead and then everything shut down? No? Okay.
No. Green Bay was playing catch up most of this night. I mean, first of all, where the hell did the defense go? I think that kind of spoke to the fact they played Chicago first week. Chicago doesn't have a serviceable offense. They played who was that? Minnesota the second week. Minnesota have a serviceable offense. I'm trying to think who they played week 3. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they played an actual offense this week who could put up some points, and that was without Deshaun Jackson. They got Alshon Jeffrey back, but they still won the game. But Philly's offensive line controlled that offense and defensive line.
I'll say, both lines can control Green Bay. So. And that's why it's always good to kind of pump our brakes these first couple of weeks because sometimes we really don't know what we be getting. We think we know, but sometimes we like, oh, wait a minute.
Yep. Always draw in that bag. Sometimes it's shake at the bottom.
Hey man, because and that'll lead us right on to that next game, the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, we gotta have a come to Jesus on this one.
Tennessee Titans are. Fuck it. You don't know what team is playing each week, so I'm done.
Don't know. If you don't know what team is playing every week, and it's 16 games, it's a strong possibility you're gonna get an 8-8 season. Lucky to go 9-7.
And that's where they at every year.
Every week you don't know. They kicked their ass from start to finish this entire game. Start to finish.
And didn't look like a competent college team the week before against Jacksonville
at all. But man, Dan Quinn, you need to be talking to your wife. Maybe you have your wife tell the kids, well, it's not really going good for dad right now. We might have to move. But he don't seem too pressed, though.
I was like, because last week he said he wasn't really featuring it last week.
Right.
You know, we was like, oh, okay, well, you might want to, you know, especially if y'all lose this game, you know. Panthers starting the backup quarterback winning, the Saints starting the backup quarterback and winning, Jameis putting up 55. Y'all not taking advantage of your opportunities here while Drew and Cam are sitting. So you might want to feature this shit a little bit.
Right. I mean, and that's a home game. They got their ass kicked like that. A home game.
I asked a partner of mine at work today. He's a season ticket holder. I said, why every year these AFC teams come in here and like not just beat y'all by like a last second field goal, but handle y'all like mediocre AFC teams. I think it was the Bengals last year that did the same shit to them.
You remember like 2 years ago, Buffalo and Miami came in here like back-to-back weeks and kicked their ass?
Right.
They ain't been good in years, so for them to win,
yeah. You know, if it's the Patriots, the Steelers, you know, we get it, you know.
But these cats, these dudes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where to start with this team. I mean,
well, Matt's decision-making ain't been great.
Well, where we can start, a good place to start is their slow starts.
Yes.
Because especially the last 2 weeks, like what is that about?
Well, you got that, but I put on here, they've carried the ball. Where is that stat for Atlanta? They only got 281 yards, I believe, over 4 games. 281 yards, 71 carries. If you're not able to run the ball, that play action shit that they like to do, ain't nobody featuring that. So,
nope.
At all.
Not at all. Yeah.
It's not like they're sending linebackers and corners. They're getting home with the front. Yeah. So, what's old boy from Tennessee? They asked that entire game. That defensive tackle, Jarrell Casey, couldn't do nothing with him on Sunday. Nothing. Like I said, Matt's decision making hasn't been great. It hasn't. Have you seen Calvin Ridley?
No, he got hurt, right? I think he got hurt.
Okay, he must have got hurt this game because I know he played. It must have been late because Sanu has been seeing a little bit more action, but
yeah.
I was expecting. I mean, we were talking on the side, I believe, and I think you said, well, you ain't have really as high expectations for him. I'm like, shit, they had all them injuries last year and went 7-9 or 8-8, whatever they went. They're healthy. There's no reason they shouldn't be good. Well, they're not. They're not. And it's a problem. Because, I mean, even if I don't believe it, they don't have the heart to fire Quinn midseason. That ain't how they move. You ain't about to put Dirk Cutter back in charge. They ain't gonna do that. So
Arthur don't move like that.
Yeah, that's not how they move. But what do you see?
I mean, what's really glaring? Let's jump. We talked a little bit about the offense. Let's jump to that other side of the ball. That's supposed to be the specialty.
AJ Brown was wide open. He had his best game as a rookie. He was running wide open, outrunning dudes when they was trying to catch him.
I mean, pass rush, forget it. It's non-existent.
Yeah, Vic Beasley's not gonna get a bag this summer.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then you getting run on, you getting passed on. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm disappointed in the Falcons, honestly. That's why I'm a little bit speechless. I ain't really got much. I expected a little bit. I expected more than this.
Hey, they got Houston on Sunday. Early prediction. What you got?
I mean, I'll pick against them, and then they'll fucking win. They'll score 40 points.
I don't. But they're kind of like Tennessee. We don't know who's gonna show up every week.
I'll tell you this. The way that Deshaun, and we'll move on, but the way that Deshaun Watson is getting sacked this year, if the Falcons can't generate some pressure against Houston next week, we got
Sky falling down. They lose next week.
We got real problems.
Hey, shout out to that dude, that fan in the tunnel who was giving them the business at the half. That shit was hilarious. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, people Google it. That shit was funny. Real fan right there. All right, let's keep it moving. New England went up to Buffalo, Bills Mafia, and beat them 16-10. We expected them to play them hard because they always play them hard in Buffalo. But 16 points and they've been world beaten. 7 of them points came off that fumble. I mean that blocked punt.
Right. So the offense didn't score a touchdown.
Right. So it kind of makes you see why they wanted to keep. Well, Brady wanted to keep AB in that building Because they don't look wide receiver right now.
Yeah, because they wide receiver depth chart is going like this. You know, they started off the season with like, yo, who the fuck gonna catch the ball other than Edelman? Mm-hmm. And then we look up and Edelman's healthy. Josh Gordon healthy. They got the rookie, N'Keal Horry, Dorsett. Yeah. And then here come AB, and then you looking like, oh, they had Demaryius Thomas at one point. So then you're looking like, well, damn, they went from nothing to damn. It look like they might be a little stopped. And then now we right back to, what's going on? Because Josh Gordon banged up. AB, we know what's up with him. They traded Demaryius Thomas. So now you back to just basically Edelman and what?
And Dorsett. Well, I think they get, what's his name? Benjamin Watson comes back. But hell, he our age, coming off suspension. So.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, you got Brady in his age. So, but they still found a way to get it done. So I think the defense is going to have to carry more games this year than probably what they've been used to here recently. Yes. You go back to them Richard Seymour and Teddy Bruschi, them defensive days, them defenses were stellar and they was used to carrying the load. But now, with the way the offense is in New England, this defense they're gonna have to carry the load more games than not, more than likely.
AJ Green, they got a need up there. Walk in the office in Cincinnati and tell them I'm out. Get what you can. I'm out. Axe out. But
that'll be good, but he won't do it. And I know we talked about it. I think we talked about it maybe a week or two ago. New England upcoming schedule. Like right now, they cool. Next couple games they got the Redskins, the Giants, the Jets, Browns, and the Ravens before they go into their bye.
Yeah.
But when they come out of that bye, Philly, Dallas, you got Houston, you got Kansas City. Then they end with three.
Browns and Ravens ain't no whole games up. Where is that Ravens game at?
That one is in Baltimore. It is it's a Sunday night game. The Cleveland game is in Foxborough. That's an ass whooping.
Yeah.
They got to go to Philly, to Houston. Kansas City come to town. Dallas come to town. But those are all big games.
But one thing about that real quick. What Kansas City the best offense out of that, right? All them teams you just named, really? Because we know they got a good defense, so we got to think who can score on them. Because you know the defense. If you want to talk about a team that's going to be able to score on a Belichick defense, call me crazy, but give me Dallas. And I say that because they're more balanced than the rest of these teams. Yeah. Kansas City ain't got no run game. No. I ain't even gonna really throw Houston in that mix. Philly, no run game most of the time. They rely on passing. So whenever you rely on one thing against New England, they take that one thing away. Yep. So I say Dallas because they got a nice run game, a great run game actually. And if that can do what he's been doing so far for play action, that'll limit Brady time on the field. Yeah. And Dallas defense ain't really no slouch this year either. So off the top, I would take that matchup. But anything else on Buffalo? When Josh Allen got knocked out of this game. Hey, Mike Cam, you gotta learn how to slide, homie. You gotta learn how to slide.
He'll learn.
I mean, that was a kill shot. Like, go to sleep. You gotta learn how to slide, dog.
I mean, they ain't let him come back, but he hopped up pretty quick. He looked like he should be good to go for this week.
Yeah, he probably in that dark room right now, though. They be real crunk when they get hit that first time in the game. They be like, yeah. Their head be hurt.
Wake up that next day reaching for them ibuprofens.
Yes, but test game, they hung with them. That's almost like going 8 rounds with the champ. You ain't win, but you hung in there with them. So, maybe Brady will retire at some point. Maybe. So.
And I thought about that Sunday. Like, okay, if Brady would have gone the next year or two, who's going to take over this division? Right now, I have to say Buffalo. Now, when Sam Darnold come back from his kissing disease, we'll see what that offense got a chance to maybe be. I still think they have enough receiving weapons even when he comes back. So they'll have to add that down the line. But, Buffalo, they on their way up. They need to add some offensive things too. But, hey. So I guess something to look forward to whenever the fuck Brady decides to walk away.
5, 6, 10 years, whenever he sit down, y'all got a chance.
Yep, there you go. All right. Next up, we just talked about Kansas City a little bit. They survived the Detroit Lions in Motown.
Yeah, they survived that one.
Now we said Thursday, even if Detroit didn't win this game, if they played them close and held them under 30 points, then we might have to take them seriously.
I'm kind of ready.
I lied.
You ain't ready to take them serious. They gave the game away.
I know I'm not, because it's Detroit. I know at some point they'll fuck up. Yeah. But I only said that last week because I really didn't expect it to happen.
Oh, I didn't expect it. I actually paid attention to the game on Sunday. They gave that game away. They legit gave it away like multiple times.
Yeah, so, they had opportunities. They had a lot of opportunities. I didn't
expect them to have a solid defense like that. But, you know, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is really good. But it's something about having a running game. Right. It's something about it. When they had Kareem Hunt moving how he was, and that play action was legit, this offense is good now, but, you know, New England kind of laid out how to do it with them 6 DBs. Just line up, match up with them. Speed on speed. If they can't run the ball, then, you know, as long as you're getting some legit pass rush and matching up, you got a chance to slow these cats down. And it seems like that's what Detroit did. They hung with them without Darius Slay, their best corner. So,
yeah, I want to say I think I saw him tweet, and I was at the crib, something like that. I was like, well, damn, okay, but we, you know, I mean, good win for Detroit. I want to say during the training camp shows, I think we shitted on Detroit pretty bad, and we actually had a fan comment basically said, "Fuck y'all."
Oh wow.
But yeah, it is what it is.
But shit, you know what they done been the last 5 to 25 years?
Hey man, he's riding for his team.
I ain't appreciate.
He didn't appreciate our shit talking.
That's his team.
I thought about him, and I was like, damn, maybe homie knew something. But how often does Haley's comment come? Is it every?
Yeah, exactly.
7 years?
Yeah.
Well, what come every 7 years? Is that solar eclipse or something? Whatever's every like 7 years. Yeah. We'll get a season from Detroit where they'll string along some wins. And then toward the end, they'll fuck it up.
Yeah.
So I think the last time was when they played Dallas in that playoff game.
I think they played New Orleans one year and got just drugged.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I'm not a believer in Detroit. So I mean, good win. Not good win. No, they didn't win. But it's their first loss because they got the tie.
Yeah.
But
and don't it seem like this division is a lot more tight than what folks they're in this division with them. You know,
in NFC North.
Yeah, Trubisky's out of the way for a stretch. You know, Green Bay is still 3-1. We don't know what Minnesota's going to do about this quarterback situation. So it seems like they're right there with them. Right there.
Yeah, damn it. After 4 games, they right there. Now, when some of these teams gonna start meeting up head to head, and then we'll get some separation. So, those gonna be the key games, those division games. Next up, the Colts, Jacoby Brissett and the Colts coming off a win in Atlanta. No, against Atlanta, they were at home in that game too. They were at home this game, but they dropped this one to the Oakland Raiders, 31-24. People, if you did not see this game, the game was not that damn close.
It really wasn't.
Oakland kicked their ass from start to finish. Of course, I ain't really got nothing on this game, the game itself. Of course, the big news coming out of this game, and I got my Vontaze Burfict jersey on tonight. For those of y'all watching on YouTube, it's not really a jersey; it's just a T-shirt that says "Wild Animal" because that's Vontaze Burfict.
Hey, you should get his last name put on there and put number 13 with them suspensions.
Just line them up.
TV the other day because they was like he lost $4 million in salary from all these fines, and then his $5 million this year he pretty much gonna lose. That's $9 million for being a wild animal. You ain't gonna see that money back. You're not.
Not at all.
And the crazy thing is everybody say he's a good dude off the field. He just wild as fuck on the field. That's all. They voted him a captain.
Right. Right. And AB was supposed to thrive in this environment. Now something
was crazy when AB showed his ass that last time in Oakland. That was Burfict who was holding him back.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now he's appealing this, which I don't blame him for appealing it. I think he ended up getting knocked down to like 8 games.
You think?
From 12 to 8, maybe 10.
I think they're going.
I don't think they're gonna give him the whole season. I think they wanted to send a message. I think they wanted to send a message. I mean, yeah, they've been talking for a while, but I think the last one he got was like 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go from 4 to 12.
Yeah. They could, but it would surprise me.
I'm just trying to find an out for the homie, but if they uphold it, hey, what can you say? I mean, yeah, they pass tapping you.
XFL.
They pass tapping you on the shoulder, tapping you on the hand.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Vontaze, please be a good boy.
He's not featuring. But shout out to the Raiders. I didn't expect them to win this game. Shout out to them. All right.
Now, I think I'll say I think he may have a small chance of getting it reduced is if because I think Derek Brooks is going to be overseeing the appeal.
Okay.
And they say it's either him or James Thrash. Now that I think about it. But if it's Derek Brooks, him being a defender, him being a linebacker, maybe he'll cut him some slack.
Troy Vincent giving them games. No. So, if it's Derek Brooks, he might have a chance because, LeVar Arrington said on TV today, he said there's people sitting in the Hall of Fame right now for making those same hits that he made in that game.
Yeah.
They made their careers off of that, but, the league changed. So, he's only 29. It seems like he's been around forever.
That's it?
Yeah, he's only 29. Ain't that something? So, he's made a lot of his time in the league, knocking folks out. So, all right, the Chargers went down to Miami and won 30-10. That they were on their way to the classic Miami trap game, but then they got it in gear later on.
Yeah.
I think since we've been on here last week, I think Melvin Gordon went back to work Friday, or was it Thursday?
I think it was Thursday, I think. And he suited up.
Yeah, because Justin Jackson got hurt. So, hey, he's back there. They're going to throw him in there, man. It would not surprise me if they ran him a lot over the next, 12 games. I get my worth out of it. Run them.
Yeah.
As if they don't find if somebody come in that last.
If somebody don't come in and trade for him before the deadline, yeah, that's right. And I know we talked about it on the side. People, y'all tell us. I thought he had another year on the contract.
I thought he did too.
I thought that was part of the hold up, but no, he's a free agent at the end of this year. So, which makes this even
money.
This makes this even more head scratching on his part. Especially, if you're gonna go a left bell route, then you don't come back after 3 games. So
right.
Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway,
yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But the Chargers got the win. I want to say they suffered another injury. Melvin Ingram got hurt. So, they're right back to Charger ball. People get hurt every game or two. So hopefully that gets better.
Speaking of
Jones, go ahead.
Now, speaking of the Chargers and Melvin Gordon, just a little tidbit. The Chargers, all them fines that he accumulated from being out, they cut him in half. And I was surprised because the Chargers usually don't roll like that. They usually don't roll like that. Yeah. So they cut them fines in half. And I also say that to say, for those of y'all that was saying that Oakland cut or did whatever they did to AB because they had to fine him because of the CBA. Dang. No, that's a perfect example right there. They got the option to, but they got the option also not to. Yeah. So I'm not going to
keep that energy too when AB get this bread.
I'm about to say the man got 9 grievances on the table. If he recoup his bread, y'all think y'all mad now? Just wait.
Boy. So we're gonna see which way that goes. The New York Giants and Daniel Jones got the victory over Washington 24-3. Danny Dimes didn't look as great as he did the first start. Well, that wasn't even a start. No, he did start against Tampa. But
no, they stuck him in.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, 'cause Eli was already in. Okay. But was it
he started. He started.
Okay. Yeah. So, man, if we were still giving out L's, I'd give out a big L to Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden. Like, how do y'all sit there and say repeatedly, he's not ready? We're not going to throw him out there because he is not ready to play NFL ball. Was it even the second quarter?
I mean, why? And as soon as I seen it come across red zone, I said, "Oh, damn!"
Yep.
Because I don't want them to fuck this young man up. You know.
We just saw this happen with Josh Rosen. You throw somebody out there with next to nothing around them. Hell, I mean, it's going on way before these cats too. You get them out there, get them hit, get them fucked up, and then you wonder why they gun shy. They don't stand in the pocket. They said he had no reps with the starters at all, like none. So,
like, what is he supposed to do?
That's the equivalent of back when Young Haight used to play baseball, and I'd be in the dugout eating hot dogs and French fries, and they be like, "Get on in." I'd be like, "Huh?" I ain't know no damn signs. I ain't pay attention to that shit. I was just fast, So I would run, but you can't throw somebody off the bench and just tell them to get it how you live against a live pass rush. You can't.
Not a quarterback.
And the sad part about this, I saw it coming. I saw it coming because they were playing Daniel Jones. They were playing him. They was like, we're going to throw our guy in. He was number 15. He was better than them. Don't start that dude this week, man. Don't.
Can you go back to Keenum now, though?
I think they're going to go with Colt McCoy. Now, maybe that's why, because they said he was inactive last week. So maybe that was why they threw him in there. But,
okay.
I mean,
because Colt coming off an injury, right?
Huh?
Colt coming off an injury, right?
Yeah, but he could have played. They just had him inactive. So,
okay.
It wasn't like Keenum was hurt the way he couldn't finish the game. He just sucked. So, I left him out there. Let him take them shots. But I don't have much else on that game.
Yeah, so they probably didn't want to. They probably didn't want to suit up three quarterbacks.
They kind of need to. They 3 is equal to maybe 1.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think now. I guess depending on what body you want to use for special teams or somewhere else. Now, are you going to suit up 3 quarterbacks this week, or are you sitting Haskins, or are you sitting Keenum?
Minnesota need to call them and offer like a 7th. Try to get Keenum in that building.
Oh man, you stupid. We definitely got to talk about the Vikings offense, but Washington, yeah. I mean, they're not very good.
Why didn't they fire him like Monday morning?
He should have been gone, man. I thought he should have been fired after what they did RG3 and that whole situation.
Yeah. And they said before this week, they was like, "Hey, it's a strong chance that he gets fired. They don't win Sunday." I was like, "Shit, y'all should fire him now, then."
Right. Like, in that situation, I don't know what you waiting for. Yeah, I don't know what the hell you wait for in that situation, because that cat there ain't no better than Damn, I had it on the tip of my tongue. Never mind, but go ahead.
AP, I love you to death, homie, but it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I mean, yeah, he old.
Yeah, he don't play a while, and 2.5 yards a carry. He, I say this all the time. He's like Driscoll Ferrari, our homeboy. Shout out to him. Driscoll go hard. We just go hoop. Dre had 5 minutes of post moves. AP still hit that hole hard, but he's hitting that hole. That's the offensive line. He getting to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
That's it.
He got burst to get to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That's not good, man.
He ain't even got the 3 yards in the cloud of dust no more.
No, man, no. But he's still a legend. He hanging in there. So, but it's a wrap. They need a lot. When was the last time Washington was good?
RG3.
Okay. So,
well, I mean, and if you want to count those Kirk Cousins years, and that's what I was going to say now that I think about it. It's funny because you can probably say Kirk Cousins helped save Jay Gruden's job during that time frame after the RG3 thing, and now look how bad they both suck.
Yeah.
But it's the Redskins. Shit ain't never right.
Never.
It never right in DC.
Never, ever.
So, Jay can go ahead. Jay need to go to the house now. Shit, I'd volunteered. He gonna get his money for the rest of the year.
I'd go my shit. All my personals like slowly out of the town. So they come in there, ain't nothing on my desk but
right.
Nothing. So
playbook and that's it.
That's
You
it.
know, go ahead and move
So-
your shit to Vegas. You know, tell your brother to get your job as quality control coach or some shit.
He'll get on somewhere. All right, next up, the Browns beat the Ravens 40-25, and this one wasn't close either. This score indicates that it was a little bit closer, but it really wasn't.
Yeah. Baltimore scored a late touchdown. It was Browns kind of piled it on late, but
Don't it seem like this is Baltimore's MO though? Late, they always making these late runs. Didn't they do the same shit against Kansas City? Kind of make up some scoring. They did it this game too. It seemed like they're having a lag somewhere. Maybe it's the third quarter. I'm not sure where, but it seemed like they're always having to catch up in the fourth instead of playing from a lead or whatever. But
this game was a one possession game. I want to say it was 24-17, like midway through the third. Browns had just scored a touchdown, and Baltimore was driving, and then Mark Ingram fumbled.
Yeah.
And then I think Browns went down and scored a touchdown, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Was that the touchdown where Chubb just outran the whole team?
I want to say I think that's the one that put them up the one touchdown.
Okay.
And then Ingram fumbled on the next possession.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. But either way, man, that the Chubb touchdown. Earl Thomas ain't no faster than me.
No.
And that wasn't the only play on Sunday where he looked slow as fuck.
Are you trying to say that Earl got cashed out when he might have not been what he portrayed himself to be?
Cause homie told coach, asked him, you said, why you pull up on the Chubb run? Said my hamstrings tight. I said, nah, cuz I can look at the tape and tell he was going with all he had. And he realized, man, that dude's 6 yards in front of me. I ain't catching him.
Some of them folks who've ever drove a stick before, Earl downshifted. He was like, nah.
Exactly. So his hamstring may not have gotten tight on that run, but he was gonna damn sure make sure it didn't.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a serious question.
This is not gonna be serious. I could tell by how you asked that.
It is.
All right, go ahead.
Will Odell be okay with not getting the ball?
Would he have 4 catches in this game?
Yeah, 2.
2, okay. Maybe it was 4. Maybe it was 4 targets. But I know Jarvis had all the action.
Yeah.
I think Jarvis had all the action this game. Yeah. Now, before this game, Jarvis hadn't really got no action.
At all.
Now, the question is, can the two of them kind of being that they boys, they tight.
Yeah.
Can the two of them be able to talk to each other behind the scenes and away from the team and everything and kind of calm the other one down when the other one is not getting targets and looks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know Odell, he want his 10 to 12 targets.
Yes.
And his 8 catches, $125 and a touch. We know he want his, So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting.
They were breaking down the film on Monday on Get Up. Odell had a huge impact on that game without getting the ball because he was doing the defense. Yeah. A couple of them touchdowns, dudes was wide open because they was following him. I just don't see him being happy as a decoy, every week. That shit don't get you to the Pro Bowl. It just don't.
Yeah, that don't get you endorsements and all that.
No,
you're right.
He's already he already think they sent him there to die. He ain't getting the ball. Put it this way: if Odell don't get the ball Monday night against y'all, and they get their ass whooped, it's gonna be some smoke Tuesday morning.
Hey,
it's gonna be one of them. Ask Freddie. Odell, you ain't get the ball. Ask Freddie.
I'm gonna see how they. I know how we gonna line up, but it's gonna be interesting to see what the spots on the field that Kitchens puts him at.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Kitchens, I'm going to line him up as much as possible away from the side that Richard Sherman's on. Okay.
Sherman don't follow, do we?
Nah, not in the defense that we play.
Okay.
So, Sherman, that left side of the field, that's his side. So, if you're gonna put Odell on the opposite side and make sure he's involved, make sure he get touches, then that's gonna be game plan, and that's gonna be on Freddie.
Can Barrett stay with him?
Right now, I don't know what Verrett can do because when he came in that Pittsburgh game, that was his first time coming on the field in 3 years, 2 or 3 years. He's coming off an injury.
That's
So
right.
I'm not sure what he gonna be able to give us right now. Okay. But and he's more of a slot guy anyway.
Okay.
So he'll probably be
with Jarvis essentially.
With Jarvis more than likely.
Don't the other boy come back off suspension this week? Callaway, is that his name?
Antonio Callaway, the receiver from Cleveland. Yeah, he comes off suspension as well. Yeah, you're right. So they have a few. Kareem got 4 games and he gets 6.
Kareem got 8.
8 games. I'm sorry. Okay, so we won't see him till later on. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they come in.
I don't think I'm taking the ball out of Chubb's hands. I like what he gives them.
Yeah, I mean Hunt, him coming in at the back half of the season, they'll find a way to get him 10, 12 touches, be a change of pace. Yeah. Work his way back in. No, he's not going to be, and I hope he's not expecting to be thrown back in as he is a starter like he was in Kansas City from day one. No, homeboy,
that's solid.
Yeah, yeah. A lot has transpired with you. You've been off the field for a while. You got to kind of work your way back in and be a team guy and contribute where you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, the Ravens. You concerned? That's 2 straight.
No, because I didn't get overly excited about the way that they was playing those first couple of weeks. I knew that wasn't pretty much sustainable. Took into account who they had played too. So I think they're still a good team. I still like them to win the division. They'll see Cleveland again. I think they may have maybe underestimated them a little bit.
Yeah, I think they did.
Due to how good they had been playing, the Ravens that is, and how bad the Browns had been playing. Maybe they underestimated them a little bit. They'll make the necessary adjustments next game, and they'll be ready. But absolutely. Cleveland not going to be the same team when they meet again either. So
right. All right, my Carolina Panthers went down to Houston, and they got a win, 16-10 over the Houston Texans. Everybody been, having a eulogy in regard to Cam Newton's career. Kyle Allen was not a world beater down there. He wasn't. Now, he did 20 for 34. He ran the offense, 70% completions, but he was facing live fire that game. He had 3 fumbles lost. Now, he did avoid the big sack from JJ, and that first down did get us pretty much in field goal position to win that game. But I guess my biggest question is, Houston, you concerned?
No.
I just don't like what I see. I just don't.
Yeah. The reason I say, I don't necessarily either, because I still seeing some of the same issues I saw last year, as far as protecting Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
So, no, I'm not necessarily ecstatic about what I see either, but at the same time, they play in that division, and so you might can win that division at 9-7.
I was about to ask you that too. Right now, we 4 games in, the quarter point. Who's the best team in that division right now?
You say you got the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and
Tennessee.
I said Titans, Jags, Colts, and Texans. Okay. I'd still take the Texans.
Yeah. I trust. Most complete.
At the end of the day, they got Deshaun Watson. I trust him more than I trust the other quarterbacks in that division, and they got Hopkins. He still got the best hands in the division. So and they got, you know what I'm saying. So I think if I had to put money on one of the 4 in a given week, it would be them before the other 3.
Man, we got a young cornerback down there in Carolina. His name is James Bradbury. He can ball, people. He can ball. You see this avalanche starting to come together when you see about all these people that's going to have to be paid. Shaq Thompson's coming up to be paid. James Bradbury's coming up to be paid. Christian McCaffrey got a bag coming his way at some point. It's going to be such an interesting offseason. I want to see my team make the playoffs, but this offseason is going to be so interesting.
So are all those guys free next year?
No, Bradbury, I think he was only a 3rd-round pick, so I believe he's up to be paid. You can't franchise everybody. Reason why I say that is, with the talk of Mr. Newton and them getting off of him for that too, you could take that money and go another way. I just got to see it happen because Kyle Allen, you think they was on him with the Texans. Jacksonville, I believe that game's in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. They're going to be on him Sunday. They're going to be on him Sunday. So we're definitely going to find out, but he's winning. It ain't pretty, but he's winning. So the defense is carrying us. We took a loss this week with KK.
Bingo. The defense.
Oh, yes, defense and run game. And that's the thing. People talking about, well, Cam couldn't have did that. Shit, what is he doing besides handing the ball off? Christian McCaffrey is a beast right now. He's making some intermediate throws he has to, but for the most part, the defense is doing this. We got defense like we had some years ago right now. So.
No, y'all got the Jags at home.
It's at home? Okay.
Yeah, but definitely defense because 16 points is not going. You're not going to be able to consistently win games with only 16 points. So until Cam comes back and turns into Eli, I'm talking about a healthy Cam, not a one-legged Cam or one arm Cam. A healthy Cam comes back and starts to look like Eli Manning. Then we'll start talking about somebody coming in and replacing him.
Yeah, like I've been saying the whole time, the money is my concern. Hey, what do you think about the video he did?
Oh, I didn't see it. What was it?
Oh, you didn't see it? When he was in the dark with the wine and the cigar? When he told the story about him being out, it just dropped this week on his YouTube channel. He told about basically how he said his foot was more messed up than he put on. I mean, basically what we already knew. But homie just feeds into the perception. You in the dark with some sunglasses on, lighting up a cigar with a glass of wine, talking about how what he was saying was real. He's hurt, he ain't coming back till he's ready. But you feed into it. That's Cam though. He said, I'm gonna live my life the way I live it. So that's Cam Newton.
I was say, it sounded like he was on his vibe, on his thing.
He said that. But one thing I've been hearing a lot of people say is he sounded like Andrew Luck with the frustration with the injuries, and he's like, I finally got my shoulder healthy. Now it's my foot. People are just on that whole situation, but I got a feeling he's gonna be right when he come back. I got a feeling. Yeah. And now they're saying 2 more weeks, which would be 4, and that's okay. 4 weeks is a good long time.
Just go ahead and stay out to the bye. Come back.
Makes sense. If he keeps us competitive, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, next up, this was a shocker. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers put up a 55-burger on the LA Rams. I was quite active on Twitter on Sunday talking about the Rams. The Rams are that team. They got a whole lot of names. Some of these dudes supposed to be stars, but they're not about that action, boss. They not. That tackling thing? No.
Hey, Super Bowl. It's hard for me to say Super Bowl hangover when they were 3-0 before this game started, but they are just not. They are not the same team. Defensively, they're not. They're not as aggressive. Offensively, they damn sure ain't as explosive. We continue to talk about that week after week. They are just not that team. No, they're not. They scored 40 points, but it wasn't the way that we used to seeing the Rams go 40.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm not being facetious when I say this. If Jared Goff has to throw the ball 68 times, y'all not gonna win.
It's fucking ridiculous. 68 times.
And Todd Gurley only ran the ball 5 times.
Yeah.
Now he touched it because he had some receptions, but Tampa's front. Now that Shaq kid, I think his last name was Barrett.
Shaq Barrett, 9 sacks, 9 sacks now.
So, but 5 times running the ball with Todd Gurley. Look, you already done paid him. You can't get the money back. He ain't about to retire. You got to establish some form of a running game. Maybe you need to start letting the Brown kid run more. You got to do something. If you got to pitch count Gurley, but then I guess if you let the Brown kid run and you only bring Gurley in for passing work, then the defense know what to do. But, be honest about the shit. Hell, it's not an issue for us in the South. Hell, we knew his knees was fucked up when he was at UGA.
Right.
We kind of knew. Y'all the ones sat there and negotiated against yourselves and paid them 2 years early. Real money. So
in these next 2 games for them are division games. They got Seattle this Thursday. They go to Seattle. And then I think word is that it might end up getting flexed to the Sunday night game. but the 49ers come to LA to play. Those are two division games right there. Let them drop those two games, or maybe even go 1-1, depending on how
he
they.
was bitching already, talking about these Thursday games are stupid. Yeah, because your
Oh, my girly.
Yeah, because you got to sit there and try to regenerate them old man knees by Thursday. So,
but I'm just saying, if the Rams don't find a way to win both or one of those games, it's gonna start looking. You're really gonna start to hear some talk about what's going on, because then they're gonna be 3-3.
I think Belichick pulled the curtain back. You remember on the Wizard of Oz, everybody was scared of the wizard till they pulled that curtain back and Saul was just a little dude back there. Belichick pulled that curtain back on McVay. You know, they have not had the same offense because people are running that same defense to play them. You know, you don't have Gurley. It's 68 times. That game wasn't that out of hand the way you could have went away from the run the way they did. You know, that was the 4:00 game on Fox. So I watched pretty much that whole game.
Yeah, 68 times is a lot. I mean, they were just pretty much chunking it every damn every snap. But yeah, Belichick did get the league some things to look at, but to me, it just still starts with Gurley. You know, Gurley was pretty much non-existent in that Super Bowl, and to me, that's where their offense started. You know, because you had to worry about Gurley, you had to worry about Gurley running and coming out of the backfield catching balls. That opened up the play action. Now Robert Woods is still he's still eating. Cooper Kupp eating, but the explosive plays to Brandon Cooks, we're not seeing those.
I'm still, you know, we're talking. It was on, you know, a couple of those shows today about the money issues as far as, you know, they paid Gurley. I ain't mad at Gurley's money because he is a monster. That Cooks deal, I just didn't see the point of paying him that money. Does he look like a $16 million a year wide receiver ever? Honestly, he runs the go, but what other route can you say he runs?
I mean, no, he's a good. I mean, he's a good speed stretch the field receiver. That's pretty much what he is. Now, does that equate to $16 million a year? Hell no. You got to be able to do more than that.
Right.
So yeah, it is baffling. And a few of these contracts are baffling. That one. Right. Now that we're looking at the Gurley contract, you know, so
they still got to pay Marcus Peters this summer. So you know that's deals they got to figure out. He's hurting himself right now.
You know. He had the pick six Sunday, and when Jameis,
it was right on time with Jameis. I was tweeting, I was like, man, Jameis look good. Sherm was tweeting about him, like, man, if Jameis can play like this, and I'd be damn, like the next player till he threw that damn pick six, I'd be damn.
But I wasn't the picks, the six part, the touchdown part of it though. It wasn't like he just threw it out in the flat and they just ran it back. It was an easy pick six.
No.
The tackling after Marcus Peters was running that ball back was atrocious.
Yes.
SAT word, I think.
Yeah, but, that's a good one. But yeah, at the end of the day, they got it done. The South is shaping up to be something. I didn't expect Tampa Bay to be this, but Bruce Arians is a good coach. He's a good coach. Todd Bowles has that defense playing. I guess we could say that they gave up 40 points, but, you know. Let's keep it moving. We got slow. Seattle went down to Arizona and they won 27-10. I don't have much on that game outside of the fact that Chris Carson did not fumble. That's all I got. You got anything on this game?
No.
Shout out to Larry Fitzgerald. He is number 2 overall behind Jerry in catches.
Yeah.
That is something. Shout out to him. All right, next up, let's spend some time on Minnesota. Minnesota played Chicago, and Chicago won 16-6. Did I take them last week? Did we split on that game?
No, you won all the games last week. I took Minnesota.
Okay. Okay, this may be a jerk thing to say. It's okay. Why do I feel like they're not going to suffer without Trubisky? I feel like Chase Daniels is going to be okay. They're not going to suffer at all.
You know, we'll see. It is Chase Daniels. You know, we'll see.
I'm just banking on the veteran fact that he's been with Nagy and, you know, them cats for a long time, so we know the offense. I'm not expecting Pro Bowl numbers, but I think he can hold it down. And they might be able to actually throw the ball down the field a little bit more, you know, than what Trubisky was doing.
It could actually end up being a positive in the long run. Maybe Trubisky sitting on the side for a game or two. Maybe he can see some things that maybe he's missing when he's on the field.
Right.
So that may be good. But it is funny that you said that because when Trubisky went out of this game, you know, if you picked Minnesota, if you had money on Minnesota, or even if you was rooting for the Bears or thought the Bears would win, you might, well, wait a minute. Now, the Vikings should be able to get this now.
Yeah.
And no, it looked like the Bears, like you said, did better than they would have with Trubisky in there. Even though they really put up a whole lot of points with 16.
Right.
You know, it was enough. Better than what the fucking Vikings are rolling out there. What?
Let's go there. Let's go there. Okay, now from what I understand, I ain't heard this nationally. They just came up yesterday. They said Stephon Diggs ain't been talking to the media for like the last 2 weeks because he went off about the offense and how it's not moving, and so that was a couple weeks ago. Then you had Adam Thielen talking about, you know, we can't go for 180 yards rushing every week. We got to be able to throw the ball. We got to. Then you get Zimmer coming out. I honestly don't know what to say because I never saw Kirk Cousins have a problem throwing the ball. It seems like he's playing not to turn it over at this point.
No, not only that, and, you know, Kirk Cousins is going to get most of the blame, and rightfully so. But, you know, Zimmer likes to run. He wants to pound.
Yep.
So how much of the game plan is really centered around passing? And, you know, if you ain't driving home those points of focus throughout the week leading up into the game, you can't get in the game and then not be able to pass the ball once the game gets into a two-score kind of thing where you got to abandon the run.
Right.
That's if you shut Minnesota's run game, if you shut their run game down, they done.
Yeah.
You know,
but that don't make no sense because it's the same personnel. Now it's a different OC because they fired the one they had mid-year last year, who actually had them moving the ball. But like you said, if the head coach is sitting there saying we need to run, and y'all ain't featuring the run in practice, then I guess my question is, why did they sit there and cash all them dudes out at wide receiver if they weren't going to use them? You could have went and got anybody for that.
Yeah.
You paid real weapons. You paid Kelvin Rudolph this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name? Yeah. Kyle Rudolph. You paid everybody, but you're not doing nothing. And it ain't all Cousins' fault. Not all of it. I can't sit there and say that either, but that line's doing them no favors. None.
Nah, it reminds. I was watching the game Sunday, and it took me back to last year when him and Thielen had a little spat on the sideline.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins, which you never really even see him like this. He turned around like, "Look, motherfucker, I ain't got time to throw the ball that far."
I ain't got 10 seconds. I ain't got that. So you got the break now, you know.
Right.
But there's nothing they can do at this point. I mean, they wouldn't bench him. Who's behind him?
Yeah, they've got to do a little something to change up their offensive game plan. I mean, they got to try to come out faster. They might have to do what Pittsburgh did. You might have to go gadget type shit, you know, just to get the offense going. You know what I'm saying? Get the damn blood pumping, get the oil running through the damn shit. You got to do something. You can't sit there and expect Dalvin Cook to run for 150 every week.
No.
You can't. You're not gonna be able to win games like that.
150 that he's getting is kind of trying to find a nice way to put it. He breaks off a long one just about every week. So if you take 80 or so out of that 150, you're basically down to like 70 yards on like 15 carries.
I'm about to say because he might run for like 150, but on like 28 carries, 25 carries. You know,
he get that long run, he's gone, but that's 75 to 80 yards on the long one. So how much are you? What kind of, you know, what are we getting out of that really? So
like I said, I don't know who their offensive coordinator is, but they got to do something to spark Kirk Cousins, and so he can get this offense moving. Like I said, you got two talented receivers on both sides, and Thielen and Diggs. I mean, are they running bubble screens? Are they running quick screens? Are they doing things to get these guys, they playmakers that they paid all this money, like you just talked about? Are they doing things to get them the ball in space? You know, I don't care what defense a team is running, even if you Belichick. If you're a good enough offensive coach, you can scheme things and move players around and put them in positions to at least get them the fucking ball.
Yep.
You know, to see what they can do with it. So Minnesota got to do better.
But again, you don't see any way that they bench them.
Like you said, who they putting in?
I need to pull up who their backup is.
And as long as they in the hunt in the division, I don't see them pulling them.
Let me see. I want to see what's their next five. Pull it up, and I'm gonna start on the next game. Well, we ain't got much on this next game. Jacksonville and Denver. Jacksonville got it done 26-24. Denver is 0-4. Damn, that don't even sound right, do it?
It don't sound right, and I hate it for them because two of them games they lost off last second field goals. But you know, it's they getting the bad end of the sticks. A lot you can probably pick anywhere from 3 to 5 teams every year that have about 3 to 5 games that they lose off of like one possession or less than 7 or 10 points. And those are the things that make and break teams.
That was our season last year. Most of them games, we didn't get blown out outside of that Pittsburgh game. But
I say the same thing about my team. You know, first half of the season, I want to say 5 games, we lost by 7 points or less. Mm-hmm. So far this season, we won those games.
Yep, that's all the difference in the world when you win in them close games compared to when you pissing them away.
Especially when you only got 16 of them.
Yep.
The next slate of games for the Vikings. All right, so this week they go, even though they're on the road, they go to the Giants. You got to be able to get right against them. You have to be able to get
250
right.
yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay, and then after that, they got Philly, Detroit, Washington, Kansas City, Dallas. So it ain't gonna get much easier. You got a few games here that you need to try to get going before you get to the meat and potatoes of your schedule.
Only 2 guarantees really is the Giants and Washington. Hell, Washington might get up for that game because Cousins is coming.
And let me see. And it's a Thursday night game. But it's in Minnesota.
Okay, so
Washington with that team coming short week on the road, they should win that game too.
Kirk Cousins, Sunday, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you need to be efficient. You can't go out there and throw 3-4 picks and be on that bullshit. That ain't gonna work. Mike Zimmer seemed like the type to put hands on you.
Especially against the Giants secondary.
Yeah. This is the get right week for them. It got to be. All right. We talked about Jacksonville. Is this the real Leonard Fournette, or is this Denver don't want to tackle?
Now, are these stats from one game?
Yeah, he ran all over them.
Okay, I know he had a long one, but still, you take the long one out of 245, you still got a pretty damn good day.
20 of it he had 2 receptions for 10 yards, so that's good numbers on the ground.
Oh, okay, 31 touches. I got you.
Those are good numbers.
And until he string several of those together, I'm not gonna say he bad.
He won't get that on us Sunday.
Hell no.
So nah. I don't think he'll get 100. So, well, he better not. All right. Next up, Dallas went to New Orleans on Sunday night. This was their first real game, apparently, this year. A real defense. The first 3 teams they played, I put their total defense ranks as of Sunday. The Giants are 25th, Washington's 28th, and Miami is 32nd. So Dak Prescott ate these dudes alive because they barely had a pulse. Well, New Orleans actually has a defense. I come away from this game, and I'm not surprised because New Orleans took away the run game. It's kind of simple. If you can't run the ball, that play action shit don't work.
It doesn't work. Does not work.
Marshawn Lattimore pretty much put the cuffs on Amari Cooper. The cuffs. He was in jail the whole night. They got legitimate pass rush on Dak. Zeke, I don't think Zeke fumbled that ball. I thought he got his elbow down, but whatever. That was kind of a turning point in the game. But shout out to New Orleans, man. They were not supposed to beat Seattle in Seattle, and Dallas coming in with the momentum they had was not supposed to lose that game on Sunday night.
Right, because when Drew went out, I was like, okay, they got 6 games before he's supposed to be back. And I looked at the games, and I think we looked at them together. Like, I think, okay, they can go 3-3.
Yeah.
Of the 3 games that I thought that they could win, neither one of them were the 2 that they've won these last 2 weeks. So they are in good shape. They're in good shape. They are in good shape now. I mean, it wasn't pretty, 12-10. So just like we talked about some of these other teams winning with 16 points and what have you, that ain't going to cut it long term. But the defense,
he's basically a placeholder at this point. So he's just trying to hold it down for them. And as much as I can sit there and shit on Dallas, they only gave up 12 points. They gave up 12.
So it was a defensive game. Game.
So, we're going to see which way it goes from there. Very big game on Sunday for them with Green Bay in Lambeau. Very big game. Now, it's going to shift a bit if Devontae Adams does not play.
It's going to shift a lot.
That'll change a good bit.
That's going to shift a lot. And both of these teams coming off L's too. And the NFC ain't really no clear front runner. So all these games count.
Who do you think right now is the best team outside of y'all?
It's not
the team. Who's
the best team? Definitely, I don't think it's us. I think people just looking at the record and flying off at the handle. But putting my team aside,
I can't think of a front runner right now.
I can't. I mean, I think even though they've played some cupcakes, I can't believe I'm saying it again, giving them more props. But I still got to throw Dallas in there until Dak shows me he's going to turn into the pumpkin again. Because even against them lowly teams, he still looked better than he looked last year against anybody.
Yeah.
So, and then you look at the rest of the conference. The Packers are up there. The Bears, their quarterback situation is who knows?
Yeah.
And with these quarterbacks going down, like a starting quarterback going down every week or multiple ones, this might be who's last man standing at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
But
I'm looking forward to what happens on Sunday. If he goes up there and that offense pisses the bed, that won't be good. He should have his agent call Jerry. Like, y'all still got that 32? Y'all still got that? I'll take it right now.
Hey, man, keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy with that 40.
All right. There was a game last night. Pittsburgh kicked Cincinnati's ass. That's all I got.
I for some reason took Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was a stretch. You was looking up.
I thought even out of the couple of losses that they had, I thought other than the blowout that they had against us, the game against Seattle, and I forget who they played the week after they played us, but I thought they played two decent opponents pretty close. And I didn't like anything that I saw from Pittsburgh. But that linebacker played last night, especially number 59, Vigil. I know he made a big play in the backfield at one point, but for the most part, he was out of position, missing tackles.
I don't think they breathed on Rudolph last night. I don't think they got remotely any type of pass rush. Nothing.
Well, it was kind of hard when as soon as you say height, he was throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Now Pittsburgh, you got to win. You got off the snot, all good. If I was a Pittsburgh fan, I'm happy about the win, but I'm still like, no.
Should have kept that first.
Not only that, I'm looking at how they won last night.
Oh yeah,
they came out with the Wildcat, and everything else was Rudolph dumping the ball down to Connor in the backs and Samuel.
He made one long throw, and that's because he had to, because the dude was wide damn open. Right. Cincinnati should feel embarrassed for what they put on their field last night defensively. They should feel embarrassed. And again, AJ Green, if you finish this season as a Bengal and take that money from them,
how much do they have to pay? Because AJ, I think he's gonna be 32 come next year. 31, 32.
He killed his leverage this summer. I'm like, I kind of, I don't want to go nowhere else. This is where I want to be. Why? Why do people like to lose? I don't get it.
But I'm just saying, if they offer him top 5 money,
man,
he's not getting to. There's some other teams that would like to have him on contenders that are better situations, but they ain't got top 5 receiver money for him.
Do you think Mike Brown, I think that's the owner's name, is going to give him top 5 receiver money when he can't stay healthy no more?
Hey, man, he ain't got to pay a quarterback no more.
Got that right.
But now Cincinnati is definitely on the cheap side. But
So, you got Miami, you got Washington, you got Denver, and there's one more, Cincinnati. These are all 0-4 teams, and probably every one of them need a quarterback. Everyone. Well, Washington has Haskins, but if I'm holding that one, I'm holding that shit hostage to move for somebody else. So yeah,
we know Miami got plenty. They got plenty picks, and they got Rosen. They gave up some stuff for Rosen. So
I don't get this whole tank for Tua thing, but that's another story. But Andy, I tweeted last night. I wonder where Andy Dalton's gonna be holding the clipboard next year, because he won't be starting for nobody.
That's a good question. We'll see how this quarterback carousel looks at the end of the season. It's usually about 5 jobs open, right? Give or take.
Remember last year, them jobs got snatched up fast. We was like, damn, it dried up quick.
Yeah.
It ain't looking like that. It might be 4 to 5 jobs this year. It really might.
Yeah, and it's always almost the same, maybe not the same teams, but the same type of 4 or 5 jobs. It's always something garbage, pretty much.
We still don't know what Tampa going to do or Tennessee.
I'll say it's either something garbage or something like a Tennessee, kind of like when Kirk Cousins went to – because Minnesota was really good when he went there. But anyway, a team where they figure a little bit better quarterback will take them over the top.
Right.
And I think Tennessee will be in one of them situations now. Does it – Tennessee, I don't know if it hurts them. But I say as long as they continue to win, then they really don't even get a look at Tannehill. And then they may
have him available.
They may be fooled into paying Mariota.
Yeah,
so this is one of them situations where if Tennessee is going to show up like they did last week against the Falcons and win games consistently, and then the team goes, yeah, we can go ahead and re-sign Mariota, and then you sign on for 4 or 5 more years of mediocrity.
Yeah, that's essentially what you're doing.
This little, if they put together a winning stretch, it actually could hurt them.
Yeah, very, very well. So we're gonna see which way it goes. That's all I got, homie. You got anything?
That is pretty much it. This week
back already, crazy.
Yeah, training camp is open. First game or 2 games is Friday, I believe. The Hawks open up Monday. It'll be Zion's.
But I didn't want to go to that game because I was like, Zion probably might play 5 minutes, if that.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck with preseason basketball.
Yeah,
not at all. So yeah, they gonna have a couple weeks of balling, and then they'll get ready to get on the court, man. It's already here. We said it came around quick, but because the playoffs drag out so long, and then them bullshit
shit. So.
And then the free agency and all that stuff, it seemed like it was just yesterday. But like we said, there's some cats that's been sitting at the crib since April. Chomping at the bit to get back out on the court.
Yes.
And we'll do a preview. We'll do a preview before the season start. But right off the top of my head, I'm interested to see if Ben Simmons is actually going to come and shoot jumpers in NBA games and not just in pickup games. I want to see Markelle Fultz get on the court and actually do some things.
Clippers Lakers play week 1, right? Opening night. But Paul George ain't playing, I don't think. So he's out.
Yeah, he got some shoulder injuries. So it's going to be a very interesting season. James Harden was supposed to be coming in here with this new bullshit shot.
I don't like that shot. From what I've seen of it, that's trash.
It's still not going to make them play defense, and it's still not going to make Coach open gym. You know what? Fuck it, I'm not going there tonight.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we'll still get up out of here. People, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, this is episode 192 of AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chaser. We did the Week 4 NFL recap. Went over the games, went over some different things that we saw. Hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. Again, it'll be up on YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes later on tonight, and we'll post it on social media come tomorrow. So don't forget to watch, hit those subscribe buttons there, and leave us some comments on what you thought about the show. Uncle Hey, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At RK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can find me at Diego Barish on Twitter. I already plugged the show's pages. I usually do that after ours, but there you go. So for your boy Uncle Hate, for your boy Diego Barishnikov, we are AA Sports, Straight Sports, no goddamn chasing. We'll holler at y'all on Thursday for the Week 5 picks. We up out of here, y'all. Be easy. Peace.